Hey guys, my name's James, or Mayhem, and I'm here with the TheDropOutDragon.
Hello everybody, how's it going?
Sup Dragon? So today we're going to be asking Dragon some questions about his stream and his YouTube so you guys can get to know more about his content. So first of all, what kind of content do you create, Dragon?
Well, obviously I create Souls content, being on a channel like this one, doing this interview.
Yes.
Mostly on Twitch. I started off with YouTube, a couple of videos, they got popular, and then somebody told me I should work on Twitch, and I did, and kind of spun out of control from there, so mostly live streaming, I would say, is the kind of content I provide.
Awesome, okay. And why the name The Dropout Dragon? What inspired you to make that name?
Well, obviously I'm a dragon, and I also dropped out, so simple as that.
Okay, that's probably one of the most logical choices for a name that we've had so far in this series. Okay, weirdly enough. Alright, so in your whole experience of being a YouTuber, streamer, this whole content creating, what was a high point for you?
Well, the high point I would have to say is getting started, period, and actually seeing results. This was something that I started. I spent the last of my grocery money on a capture card thinking, oh, I'd get a little bit of YouTube money on the side or something. I didn't know how any of that worked. But when it actually snowballed into something that was somewhat successful for me, I couldn't believe that I was able to entertain people for a living.
Yes.
And that blew me away. And that was just, it was, who else gets to say that? The very small portion of the population of the planet Earth gets to actually say they entertain people for a living. And that was my high point, realizing I was part of that number.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, yeah. Very rewarding, I imagine, yeah.
It can be.
Okay, cool. So on the flip side of that, was there ever a low point in this whole thing for you?
Probably the release of Bloodborne.
Okay.
Which, you know, it's my own preference, and I'm sure people in the comments will disagree, but Bloodborne to me is not as workable as the other games, which I know some content creators have run into problems with that. It's kind of a soul-crushing defeat when you've played a game for a year and you've run it dry and you've gone back and forth trying to come up with ideas and new to do anything new with Dark Souls 2, and you just can't come up with it. You think, oh, the shining light at the end of the tunnel is Bloodborne, and when it just doesn't work out the way you want it to, or maybe it's our own fault for hyping it up. But that was a pretty soul-crushing defeat to find out I just couldn't work with it very much.
Okay, so going to move on to some questions from guys in the last video comment section at the moment. So the first one is from Roy Jaggy, otherwise known as Van Royen. And his question, he's got three for you. The first one is, what did you expect when you first started full-time streaming?
It's kind of a hard question to answer for anybody. I expected to have these mediocre videos, which congratulations, I got that. But I expected to put out a couple of videos, and they would gain some traction, and it would take a little while, and I would do a little networking, and nothing like what actually happened. And I did not in any way expect to be doing any of this full time within the months that I did. I thought maybe in a year and a half I could think about it while I was searching for, a real job.
Yes.
So, which ended up not happening. So lucky me.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, and I'm sure a lot of people out there would love to be in the same shoes.
It's amazing.
Okay, so his second question for you is, have you any plans for the future? I'm guessing in terms of streaming and content providing.
The plans, it moves across the exact same path as just about everybody who starts off in a community. This one being Souls, is you gather enough people who like you for you and not just the video game. And then you move on to maybe variety streaming or making variety videos like other content creators like Fighting Cowboy have done. And they've moved on and branched out into other areas to collect new viewers.
Yes.
So that would have the same goal as everybody else. Make this a more profitable job, make this a more viewed job, and generally enjoy myself while I'm working, that's pretty much my plan. But the plan is gather as much as I can from the Souls community and try to build myself up into moving into other things so I can be happy and not so hollow.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
a big
I'm not so hollow
in this community. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that pun. Okay. Okay, that's a good goal. Yeah, and enjoying yourself whilst you work is, pretty much all you can ask for when you're paying the bills. So his third and final question is: do you have a face cam at all?
Given this video, no. Obviously, I do not.
Have you ever gone on face cam? Just to add to that.
Never.
Never. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I think it's illegal on the internet for dragons to actually be on webcam. So there you go.
It's kind of awkward. I
Okay. Next one I've got from Jamie Fowler. Question for Dragon is: how do you feel about the direction the Soul series is going at the moment?
Well, and this is an interesting question, as it kind of ties into one of the last ones. What are my plans for the future? The Souls community in general, in my own opinion, from what I have seen, it seems to me that FromSoft cares less and less about its PvP community. And they try to experiment with new things, and they don't work, and they're not apologizing about it. They just go off and do their own thing, and we all just watch and are dragged along until the next title comes out, and then we try to put out as much content as we can. That is not something that I am willing to do as a content creator.
Yes.
I don't want to be dragged along by a company that is just putting out their little breadcrumbs to the end, and it's not, it's not the cake that you wanted.
No.
It's not what you wanted. And I can't speak for the entire community. I know there's a lot of people who like Bloodborne. There's a lot of people who like Dark Souls 2, and it's kind of that split right down the middle between people who prefer this or such game. But now those communities are smaller, and
Yes.
it's not very workable. And I see more tension in the community and more fallout in the community with Bloodborne than I've seen from Dark Souls 2, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And I feel like they care less and less. And I would say generally, I don't like where it's going, but I would also say I just can't imagine waiting for the next Bloodborne 2, whatever it is, because that was such a soul-crushing disappointment to PvP-wise.
Yes.
For us. Remember, PvE was amazing. PvP-wise, for us, it's different. That direction, for us, is not a good thing. The lessened PvP, or less connectivity, or less options to invade, or whatever it is. It was a step backwards PvP-wise. Unless they figure that out, unless they figure out that they've done that, I don't think the Souls community is going to get any better.
Okay, fair enough then. Let's move on to a topic that's hopefully more positive for you. Allegor's Gameplay wants to know: how did you reach your success with the Twitch channel?
Well, remember that success is relative.
Yes,
Let's say
true.
that
Yeah.
immediately. However, to my point, when it comes to Twitch and it comes to YouTube, it can really be timing. It could be a lot of luck. It can be a lot of networking. It could be right time, right place, the right tweet from someone who has 80,000 followers or something like that. It can be. It's a roll of the dice. However, one of the big things that I did was network with a bunch of people. I got together with people who started around the same time as I did, like Forget, Brofro, a couple of others who I just sat down with and said, "Hey, look, we're all here, and we're not going anywhere, and instead of competition, let's just have the friendly competition." And I created the Nexus, which you were a member of.
Yep.
And we basically came together with the idea that friendly competition was greater than any kind of competition. And in that
Yes.
way, we were able to share each other's viewers, share each other's ideas, and come up with better content for the viewers instead of just our own same thing over and over again.
Yeah, okay.
So that's how people related to us as streamers, and that's how I got to that point, is that I was known through these other people and they were known through me. Networking, basically. And you can learn so much from each other as well. What works and what doesn't work, what's better. How does the Elgato 60 work? It won't work. It's putting up a black screen. Help!
Oh my god, that's probably me actually. The amount of times I've spammed the Nexus chat with, "Oh, someone help, my capture card's fucked." So yeah, I can say I've learned a lot.
Know.
Yeah, I can say I've learned a hell of a lot from you guys in the Nexus, so that's good. So moving on, a Dirty Birdie, it's a cool name, wants to know: why do you prefer streaming over YouTube?
YouTube to me, when I started off, I did YouTube first. the first things that I ever did were on YouTube. It was a couple of videos of me showcasing a weapon kind of in the same way that Forget does, except it wasn't edited, it was total crap, and it was just me literally recording from an Elgato. Not even using OBS or any kind of recording software, just the inbuilt recording software of the Elgato.
Oh, okay.
And talking over it. And it was these 30-minute terrible shit videos. They were just so bad. And everybody tells me they're not that bad, but I think they're just the worst because there's other people like you guys who put so much effort into their videos, and I don't. And I got successful on it. And it's so bad to look at that, and I'm jealous of y'all's time and editing ability that I don't have, which is another reason streaming is better for me. I don't have to edit anything.
Yes.
Some people like it, some people don't. But somebody came to me and they said, hey, your videos are 30-minute episodes of you talking to yourself and not editing them. You should stream. And I said, is that a thing? I said, yes. And then I found out what Twitch was and decided to give that a shot. And the interaction that I can have with people through chat, answering questions that get immediately answered right there.
Yes.
It's so interesting to be a part. It's like I have a giant sofa full of people that get to sit there and powwow over a game right there in front of everybody. And that's why I prefer streaming. It's quicker, it's easier, and people seem to enjoy it more when they're just hanging around and they can interact with the actual streamer themselves instead of just some lonely YouTube comment that may or may not get answered.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. It's so much more interactive. Even on the smallest YouTube channel, where you get an uploader that, I mean, we was all there. When you first start YouTube, you make a point of answering every single comment, and you always promise yourself, oh, I'm going to answer every single comment. But even then, like, even talking to a YouTuber like that, it's still not that personal because they might not answer it for a few hours. Whereas a stream, you actually can hear their voice, you can actually interact directly with that person. Not in your case, but sometimes they can look at the camera and you can actually see that they give a shit about you. So it's nice, it's one of the reasons I actually got into watching streams, because you get to know people like you and the other people that provide the content. It's much more interactive.
And I don't have to edit.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, by the way. Let me just throw that out there. I don't have to edit at all.
Okay. So, a dirty birdie. It's nothing to do with the fact that he likes chat. He just can't be asked to edit videos. That sounds like the answer.
Yeah. I don't have to. I hate it. It's not my thing.
I'm seeing a pattern here. There's like a meaningful answer, but like in between the lines is like some. Yeah, it's quite a lazy one.
That's typically how it is. It works with me.
Okay. So, Mario, this is someone regular to your streams. At the end of the day, besides all the money and whatnot, what do you truly appreciate from choosing the life as a streamer? I guess we've kind of answered a bit of that, but if there's anything you'd like to add, then go on.
Well, yeah, other than being able to tell people that I entertain people for a living.
Yes.
Which other than that, which is fantastic. I have gone back and forth working food jobs. I've been a salesman. I've worked insurance, which is the devil's work. At any point in time, somebody was over my shoulder and telling me how to do my job.
Yes.
And nobody does that on Twitch. And I think the biggest thing that I appreciate is 100% I get to be my own boss.
Yes.
Twitch never sends me an email and says, this is what you have to do this week. They never do that. That doesn't happen. Twitch just says, do what you do. And I do what I do.
Yeah.
I entertain people. And I enjoy it, and I'm able to provide the content I want to provide as my own. I get to stream when I want to stream. I get to work when I want to work, and provide the best content that I can, which is not as good as everybody else's, but the best content I can on my own schedule. Being my own boss is probably the most liberating thing ever, and I appreciate that more than everything else.
Yes. Yeah, it's
and
like freedom.
Getting to meet awesome new people as well. But remember, like, oh my God, being able to go, oh man, I have to work today. I'll do it in 3 hours. Ha ha!
Yeah.
And walk away. That's the best thing in the world.
Okay, so again, if you want the dragon answer to that question, it sounds more like he likes a lion in the morning, and that's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Okay. one of the final questions from Sunlight Blade from the last video. Quite a serious question, really.
Can't wait.
Yeah, do you have an innie or an outie belly button?
Now, I'm aware that Great Britain doesn't have the best education system, but I'm a reptile. I'm a reptile, and we don't have belly buttons. We come from eggs.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right, there you go, Sunlight Blade. You know not to ask such silly questions next time. Top 10 silly questions by Sunlight Blade next, please.
There we go. Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so final question is just one from me. I've gone through and asked each person on these episodes a piece of advice for someone getting into this whole thing. And my question for you is, how do you deal with trolls and haters and otherwise people that would try and bring you down from this? How do you work through that and stay awesome, basically?
Well, and this is a piece of advice for just about every content creator that has ever existed.
Yes.
Trolls, you can ignore them, you could work with them, you could argue with them, you could do whatever you want to do with trolls, but on the end, they're just voices on the internet.
Yes.
And in a lot of different ways, they're working for you, and they don't even realize it. I tell people in my own stream when they come in, and as an open homosexual furry, you get a lot of trolls. You gotta open yourself up to that. And that's not because the world is a cruel place. That's because you were dumb enough to say you were different. That is human nature. That's how people are going to be. And when you put yourself out there, you need to accept the consequences of that. And so I accept it by just making fun of them. I don't argue against trolls. I'm the guy with the voice. They're the text on screen, and they're now arguing in chat with 200 other people who like me and not them. So they're going to lose that argument. And I have something free to talk about for 30 minutes about how there's some, middle-class kid sitting in his basement at the age of 14 whose, mom's making Hot Pockets in the top room. He better go grab them. Like, we all know who they are. These people who are really mad about things. We know who they are. And it doesn't bother me. The way I deal with trolls is to just laugh and think, man, I'm popular enough to get you people.
Yes.
And to enjoy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them that come in and they'll say hurtful things like how much of a sellout that you are or something like that. It's like, yeah, I'm the sellout dragon. That's the real name. That's what it is. I do this for money. I tell people that all the time. And these trolls, they can't stand that kind of mentality, but you just have to deal with it because that's life. Life has these people walking around. They're just not as ballsy as they are on the internet because they can't get slugged in the face.
Yeah, they're behind a magic screen, aren't they, and a keyboard?
It's the keyboard warriors. They're the best. And the way to deal with it is that you have two options. Ignore it, which is probably the more preferable option, or become a bigger troll yourself and just argue with them and have them work for you. It's easy.
Yes. Okay, cool. Well, that's some good advice, and I'd second all of that. It's in my experience from YouTube as well, that's very good things to know. So that's about it, actually. That's the end of our questions for Dragon. I hope you've all learned something new, very insightful words. And if there's any more questions for Dragon that weren't answered today, or anything you just want to know, then please comment below, and we'll both keep an eye on the comment sections to make sure they're answered as soon as possible. Next up on Uploader Law is going to be Fighting Cowboy.
Let's go piss some people off.
Who's also in the Nexus with Dragon and myself. He's got loads and loads of cool videos. He's a bit of a variety uploader as well. And he's got some quite controversial videos. I can already see the hate comments coming in, and I've had a few already.
Wait to read those.
I know, I've had a few people say, please don't do Fighting Cowboy, which means it's going to be even better. So if you have any comments or nasty things to say about Cowboy, please comment them below, and we'll make sure that they're mentioned in some way in the next video.
I'll probably screenshot a few of them and send it to him. It cracks me up every time.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And actually, while you're here, Dragon, is there anything you want to ask him live on this video?
I would like to know what it's like to drunkenly stumble into the Souls community and find every tryhard and their little honorable brother telling you that you're a complete sack of shit and that you should kill yourself, and realizing what a bee's nest you've walked into. That is Cowboy's story. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
just go play a Souls game. Yo, man, level 280 with Jesters and a Santir Spear, all dark magic. This is a really effective build. I'll show everybody what this is like. Haha! Oh my god, the comments and dislikes. What happened? I want to know what that's like. That's amazing.
Yeah, that must be pretty epic to get that kind of attention. That's okay. I'll make sure I include that. And if you're watching, Cowboy, I hope you get an answer ready for that. Okay. So that's about it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will catch you on the next time. And that's goodbye from me.
And have a good one.
All right, catch you later, guys. Goodbye.